Well, hello. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Well, I have some wonderful news, and that is that our son, Kurt, is getting married in Houston, Texas, May 6th to his wonderful, lovely fiancée, Maddie, and we are so excited to go, but I have a big problem with a big solution, and I'm actually here to ask for your help. Because of my progressive lung disease, pulmonary fibrosis, I have to use supplemental oxygen 24/7, which is what this is about. And I actually made 2 other short videos to kind of help you understand what's going on medically and how God has been taking care of me throughout this difficult journey. Well, until a year ago, I was able to fly commercially with what's called a portable oxygen concentrator. It's a little machine that I could take on the plane to give me extra oxygen. And I probably flew, I don't know, 8 or 10 times with it from the time that I had to start being on oxygen. And it was great to be able to do. But unfortunately, about a year ago, my lungs ended up worsening. And because of that, I'm no longer able to fly commercially. The airline won't approve me. I can't bring enough oxygen on the plane. And there aren't any other portable devices that will give me enough oxygen for me to fly safely, and my doctor won't agree to that as well. But so that's put a hard part to the trip. So not being able to fly certainly makes it a lot more difficult to get from Northern California to Houston, Texas. But my wonderful supportive husband Dave said not to worry, that he would drive us from Northern California to Houston, Texas. And it would take about 6 days to get there, a couple days there, and about 6 days back. And even though it would be tiring, we just planned out that I could only travel about half a day at a time because I just get so worn out by that. And so we had our plan on, we actually had our route and everything all picked out. But about 4 weeks ago, we drove down to Southern California to go to Dave's father's memorial service. So we drove from Northern to Southern California, and we even let ourselves take 2 days to get down and 2 days to get back. But it became really evident on that trip that I just am not able physically to be able to drive to Houston and back for the wedding. And so, we were absolutely devastated at the thought that I wouldn't be able to attend. But to not give up, we scoured the internet to find out if there were any other ways to get there besides commercial flying and driving. And we discovered that I could charter a medical plane that's equipped with these huge tanks of oxygen to use on the flight to Houston that would give me enough oxygen that I would be able to fly safely. And it's a wonderful solution, but it's really expensive. And it's particularly a challenge to pay for the flight because we've spent $50,000 in the last 3 years for medical expenses related to my treatment for breast cancer and pulmonary fibrosis. So we need to raise $39,000 to pay for the flight and a round-trip flight, and that amount covers the plane, 2 pilots, a medic on board to watch over me and make sure that my oxygen levels are okay, and as well as their expenses when they're in Houston, and gasoline for the plane and oxygen. So that's why it's so much, and it's basically like an air ambulance. So we started brainstorming about ways that we could pay for the flight, and even though it's hard for me to ask, I've created this fundraiser to for anyone who would like to help raise money for the flight. And you can donate here. And I didn't feel right just asking without giving something back. So I wanted to give a thank you gift to everyone who donates, no matter what the amount, doesn't matter. And so I've recorded a second MP3 download of me reading compassionate statements that you can say to yourself as you negotiate the challenges of life. And I sold hundreds of my first CD like this, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds actually, And listeners from all over the world actually have given me feedback that just being able to sit and listen to kind and compassionate statements, ways to talk to yourself, especially when you're struggling, really made a huge difference in them being able to be kind and compassionate, to be a friend to themselves, actually. And so I thought that was something I could do. And so, as a way to say thanks, I do have that recording, and I hope it will bless you, those of you who are able to give. So being kind to yourself, to all of ourselves, as we go through difficult challenges, just makes a huge difference. It takes the edge off of what you're going to be walking through life with a good friend on the inside. So if you would like to help, you can donate any amount you'd like, and then I'll send you a link to the MP3 recording, like how you can download it to your computer or your phone after a day or two. I'm still figuring out how to do that. And just as a way of me saying thank you. So thanks so much for taking the time to hear about my big problem with a big solution. And we would appreciate your prayers on our behalf. These last 3.5 years have been really rough. And this disease has taken so much from me and will eventually take my life. But what a blessing it would be to not let pulmonary fibrosis take away the chance to go to their wedding. So what a glorious day that will be. So thank you so much for watching this video and for praying. And if you're able to help out, I appreciate it. If you're not, I totally understand. So many blessings to you, and take good care of yourself. All right. Bye-bye.